everybody. This is Carol Maletta. Welcome to the Parenting 411 podcast, where we share information parents need from sources they can trust. Today, we're going to dig into one of the most common, most frustrating parenting challenges I hear about in my work, and that's kids who just won't listen. Now, if you're a working mom, a stay-at-home mom, perhaps you're sitting at the table right now feeling exhausted and possibly a little defeated. You might even be questioning your next step. If so, this episode is for you. We're here to offer you a lifeline, a toolkit of research-backed strategies to help you not only survive, but thrive on this parenting journey. That sounds good, right? Let's get serious though, and I'm going to get a little bit in your face. The heart of today's message is going to be this, that parenting is a two-way street. Parents have to learn how to talk so kids will listen, and listen so kids will feel comfortable talking with them. Communication is everything. And I must admit, I had some help getting to this place when my children were young. The book that helped me get here was Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk by Adele Faber and Elaine Maslish. I will provide a link in the notes if you want to look at that a little bit further. But what you've got to understand is this. The relationship is everything. And the good news is that you can learn to keep the main thing, and practice with purpose. So let's get honest. Every mom has had that moment where your child is ignoring you. You keep repeating yourself and your own volume just keeps creeping up, and suddenly nobody's having a good time anymore. So why don't kids listen? Are they just stubborn by nature, or is there more going on? So research tells us that kids are not ignoring you out of malice. They're just immersed in their own world. Sometimes they're just deeply focused on what they're playing with and their own emotions. They just care about how they feel. The world revolves around them. I'm sure you can agree with me on that.
Hey, Mama, I get it. I remember those early days of motherhood, feeling totally outnumbered and out of my depth with my twin boys. Mother's Work, Pearls of Wisdom and Gems for My Journey is the book I wish I'd had back then. In my mini motherhood memoir, I share the real, unfiltered moments, from overwhelm to breakthroughs. Along the way, I discovered 7 guideposts that helped me find my footing, and I think they'll do the same for you. And guess what? I'm giving the book away free. Just head to mothersworkthebook.com to grab yours. Just pay shipping and handling, and also get your hands on some wonderful bonuses. You don't have to do this alone. Let's walk this journey together. That's mothersworkthebook.com. Can't wait for you.
So what we perceive as not listening is often just a communication breakdown. And that's why it's critical to understand both sides of the street, how we talk and how we listen. So connection is the cornerstone of the 5C model that I provide in my Parent and Purpose coaching program. But today we're going to break down 5 elements of connection that can really transform the way you relate to your child. So here they are. Connection first, clear communication, consistent boundaries, positive reinforcement, and intentional parenting. So now we're going to just unpack each one. And I'm going to share a little science that supports each one. So, connection first. Kids listen better when they feel emotionally safe and connected. This principle has been called the connection catalyst. So, before giving directions, take a moment. Get down on your child's level. Make that gentle eye contact. Maybe even touch their shoulder gently. When children feel seen and valued, their brains are just more receptive to what you're saying. To make it easy for parents to remember, I teach in my program, connection comes before correction. Following connection, you've got to have clear communication. So keep your language simple and direct. Because trust me, your kids' eyes will glaze over if you give them long lectures. You probably already noticed this anyway. Your message just gets lost, but short sentences stick. For example, instead of, "How many times do I have to tell you to pick up your shoes and put them on the shelf?" Instead, it's, "Shoes go on the shelf, please." And whatever instruction you give, ask them to repeat it back, especially when you have younger children. You want to make sure that they understand what you said, but also by taking that moment to have them repeat it, that conveys to them that you're serious and that you do expect them to follow through with the instructions you've given. Next, consistent boundaries. Children operate well within boundaries that are clear, consistent, and very importantly, age appropriate. They know the rules of the road that way. That gives them confidence, that empowers them. Once you've shared the boundaries, then it's up to you to calmly follow through. Don't make empty threats. If you say that there's a consequence for not following a particular rule or going outside of a boundary, there needs to be a consequence. But you can deliver it without yelling or shaming. In fact, because you know you've clearly communicated the consequence, the child said they understood it, you're less likely to feel angry anyway. You're just allowing the events to play out. Gentle, predictable consequences teach accountability and trust instead of fear. Okay, now positive reinforcement also makes a big difference in connection. Basically, you're noticing when your child is doing the right thing. Celebrate it. Research shows that reinforcing positive behaviors can dramatically improve cooperation. You hear the phrase, "catch them being good," even for the small things. So when you see your children playing nicely, don't just breathe a sigh of relief. Instead, recognize it. Often, I'd walk through the room and see my children playing quietly or playing together nicely, and I would just ruffle my son's hair or gently pat one of them on the shoulders just to let them know, "Hey, I see you." Studies have also shown that giving kids choices about the way they can complete a task also can decrease resistance. And let's face it, there is more than one way to do a lot of things. So why don't you allow your children to add their creativity and ingenuity to a task and just save the rigidity or tight restrictions for those instances where health, safety, or urgency call for it. And so finally, intentional parenting makes a world of difference to your connection with your children when they can connect the dots a little bit about what's going on. So ask yourself, what kind of adult do I want this child to become later? The interactions you have today present an opportunity, even in moments of discipline and correction, to instill confidence, empathy, compassion, courage, and competence for tomorrow. Most of all, plan to be present, even in short bursts. The research is clear. Children benefit later in life from parents who set goals and prioritize connection and growth over obedience and compliance. Now, what I've shared so far isn't just some feel good advice. It really is rooted in neuroscience and psychology. According to a study by the National Library of Medicine, high quality communication, not just the quantity of time that you spend with your child, can boost academic performance, self concept, and emotional well being. And systems that you find in schools, like the positive behavior interventions and support system, they're, they can really be effective at home. So why not borrow from their playbook? So support that includes calm direction, clear routines we've talked about, meaningful consequences, and resolutions to problems work together to reduce challenging behaviors and create secure, resilient kids. Being an authoritative parent, meaning that you're responsive but firm, produces confident, independent, and socially skilled kids. Research presented by the American Academy of Pediatrics shows that purposeful, intentional parenting leads to stronger relationships and better long-term outcomes. And when we really listen to our children, let's reflect back what they feel and validate their experiences, even if we don't agree. Because what we'll find is that we're fostering an environment of respect and collaboration, not just compliance. And the recommendations from the Cleveland Clinic back this up. So here's your toolkit for more intentional parenting with the objective of having your children truly listen to you. First, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, am I connecting or am I just focused on correcting? Again, connection before correction. Next, get on their level, physically and emotionally. Really connect with them. It conveys seriousness, it conveys sincerity, it conveys caring connection.
School's back and your child's ready to step out in style. From the playground to the classroom, Adidas sneakers are built for comfort, durability, and bold style that helps every child shine. Introduce them to the classics you love, plus the newest drops at Adidas. Maybe pick up a pair for yourself too. Now, when the bell rings, your kid is going to be ready to move, play, and take on the world. Plus, you'll be looking pretty good too. Just click the link and you'll be ready to go.
Use clear, specific language and ask them to repeat it back. Make sure that you all have an understanding about what needs to happen next. Follow through on your boundaries every time, calmly. Any limit worth setting is worth upholding. Celebrate their progress, not just perfection. Don't wait until they've completely mastered a task, but talk to them about the progress that they're making along the way, because that's just the encouragement they need to keep going. Now, something we really must do is model emotional regulation. So take those deep breaths, talk about our feelings, let them know what's going on with us so that they'll feel comfortable understanding their feelings and communicating them and advocating for themselves in the future. And make time for that one-on-one connection. Even 5 minutes counts. So after listening to this, I want you to parent more intentionally with an eye toward the confident, capable, courageous, and compassionate adults you hope your children will become. That mindset should really be your North Star. Parenting isn't just about perfection. It's a journey of growth for you and your child. It will be messy. There will be tough days, but I want you to feel committed to parenting well, recognizing that there will be challenges. But I also want you to feel equipped for the journey ahead. And I want you to see opportunities in those challenges and recognize you're not inadequate. So for every mom listening, working mom, stay-at-home mom, or somewhere in between mom, you are doing sacred, difficult, but very necessary work. You've probably heard me say motherhood is ministry. So if you take just one thing from today, let it be this: relationships come first. Communication is a two-way street, and you have what it takes to guide your child with confidence, compassion, and intention toward the best version of themselves. You've got this. And thank goodness they've got you. And we're with you every step of the way. So if this has helped you, if this resonates with you, by all means, drop your observations in the chat or comment, and please like and share this episode with your friends. And for more tips and strategies like this, I invite you to pick up a free copy of my mini motherhood memoir, Mother's Work, Pearls of Wisdom and Gems from My Journey. You can grab it at mothersworkthebook.com. That's mothersworkthebook.com. Thank you for tuning in. Can't wait to talk to you again. And remember, it is never too late to be the parent you want to be.
We bring you this episode for the purpose of information and entertainment only. It is not the intent or purpose of the Parenting 411 podcast or Carol Maletta to provide an exhaustive reference or guide on all aspects of parenting, childcare, and family life. You are strongly encouraged to read all available information, consult medical or other appropriate professionals, and pursue all reasonable means to learn as much as possible about parenting, to complement what you gain here, and then tailor the information to meet your individual needs. Yes, parenting is a serious matter, though it is not an exact science. The context and insights offered in this and every episode represent an account of knowledge and personal experiences of the host and any featured guests for the viewers' and listeners' information and consideration. The host and guests do not guarantee to our viewers or listeners any specific parenting outcomes from this episode or taking actions described here.